in the past. 800-708-9466 today and get your car protected before your next repair bill hits. That's right, total protection for your car and no more repair bills. Plus, call 800-708-9466 right now and get free roadside assistance, free towing, free car rental, and free oil changes. Just call 800-708-9466 now to see if your car qualifies. That's 800-708-9466. Never pay for car repairs again. Just call 800-708-9466. 800-708-9466.
This hour of instant feedback brought to you by Mike Pepero of National Benefit Plans. For affordable health insurance, call 877-734-2200.
Ladies of the ticket would like to remind you that when you text the ticket, standard text messaging rates apply.
Strange Siberian orchestra.
There it is.
I heard they're having a virtual concert.
Yes, they are. I want to see it.
By the way, maybe tomorrow I found a new Christmas song. It's not new, but some Christmas song I never knew really existed.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, and it's a combination of a regular Christmas song with a classic rock and roll song. Well, I'll find it.
Yeah. Did you didn't by chance get the opportunity to check out my Christmas list that Rieger had shared, I think it was on Friday, of a new brand of Christmas music.
Oh, no, I didn't. But maybe you can put this on the list and then but it might be too rock and roll for you. It's not country
Mine
enough.
had a little AC/DC on it. It had it was a nice eclectic list of music.
Maybe I'll find this during one of the breaks and we will play.
All right, sounds good.
Yeah, exactly. All right. Yesterday came out that the Lions had an internal memo talking about their search, and it's going to take 6 weeks. And especially for the general manager position, they want somebody with experience. And that's all said and done. That's all said and good because you want guys who have done it before. The last few general managers the Lions have actually no general manager experience. Bob Quinn was a personnel guy for the Patriots. Martin Mayhew was the assistant general manager for the Detroit Lions. If you even go back, obviously, Matt Millen, Chuck Schmidt wasn't a general manager per se. He was a business guy. So they've really never had anybody who was a previous general manager. So when you hear that, you think, you kind of know. Explain this to me how, let's see, you want somebody with experience being a general manager.
Means they've been fired.
Which it means, it's been, not in one person's case, but it means that they're not employed.
Right.
So that looks like, wait a second, you got Dorsey is out there, he's looking for work, right? You got, Reese used to be with the Giants. I know, Giant fan Mike Valenti can't stand him, although he got him a Super Bowl. Which to me is pretty important. And you got Rick Smith. Rick Smith, who was the general manager of the Houston Texans from 2006 to 2017, as well as executive vice president. He left on his own because his wife was battling through health issues, cancer. And Rick Smith is pretty damn qualified, if you ask me.
Yeah.
He drafted people like Deshaun Watson, J.J. Watt, Dwayne Hopkins, A.J. Bowie. He did also, he was in charge when they signed Brock Osweiler to a ridiculous contract. So you've had your hits and misses. But people are sitting there saying, 6 weeks. I mean, you're only going to get these unemployed people. No, 6 weeks is good, actually, if you ask me, because you cannot interview or hire anybody who's still working for a team that's, in the playoffs.
Right.
And that includes the front office, correct, John?
It does.
Yeah.
If you're employed by another organization or franchise, you cannot be interviewed until the season is over.
Right.
And so, if you're looking at those who have been former GMs, you got to look at guys also like a Reggie McKenzie, a Jeff Ireland, the guys that have held that Reggie McKenzie, I believe, is down in Miami. Jeff Ireland is down in New Orleans. John Dorsey, obviously, you mentioned him. He's unemployed right now. Scott Pioli, he's another guy that you could interview, former GM, but is working for the NFL Network, I believe.
Dimitrov.
Yes. And there's a list of guys that you could look at.
Right.
I just...
and they say they're going to interview Smith either this week or next week, which is fine. Interview,
they should interview as many people as they have
yes,
time for.
a large search, no doubt about it, for both general manager and head coach. And as we talked about yesterday, I'd like to hire a football operations man to run the football side of things. With all due respect to Mr. Wood, let him deal with business. Let somebody else who's been in football deal with football.
Mm-hmm.
So, what would be your, if John, if I put on your chef's hat, I wouldn't have to call you chef with it. Would you be? Well, what's your recipe for a rebuild?
My recipe, so
Because they need a rebuild, okay?
they do. And so you've got to start at the top. Like you said, I would put somebody in position in football operations, call them team president, call them whatever you want, but that needs to be a football person. And then you start working down from there. The GM, I think at this time you need to go with prior experience, and if you can get a guy like a Rick Smith, you can get a guy like a John Dorsey, then you put them in position, but you make sure that they put a system in place where they can self-promote from within. When you look at, like all of the GMs that have been around for, let's just say, over 10 years. There's only 4 of them if you discount, those that are owners that act as GM in Dallas and Cincinnati. But there are 4 GMs right now that have been in position for over 10 years. That's Kevin Colbert at Pittsburgh, Mickey Loomis in New Orleans, Rick Spielman at Minnesota, and John Snyder at Seattle.
Mm-hmm.
And then you need to take a look at what they're doing. What they're doing is they've had the longevity to be able to promote from within and show those individuals who might be next in line for, Seattle, Minnesota, New Orleans, or Pittsburgh, that it's more than just evaluating players. And the scope of the GM job is so big that unless you've held a number of positions, unless you understand what that position is supposed to do on a daily basis, everybody thinks it's just watching film. And a lot of guys watch a lot of film until they get to be a GM, then they no longer have time to watch that film. Well,
They coordinate, guys coming in for tryouts, workout,
contracts, drafts. I mean, they've got so much on their plate. It's such a wide skill set, and everything changes on a daily basis. So you've got to be able to put a guy in place that maybe already has that experience, but then can teach those that are underneath him what to expect and put a little incentive in there, right? If you're able to hold that position long enough, now you can promote from within. There's a little motivation for these individuals that are working underneath the GM to learn all about it and work their way up in the organization to eventually be that GM. So that's a long-term plan. That's a complete rebuild. And then you look at hiring the coach. I'm not fixated on it has to be a former head coach. It can be a coordinator. I'm okay with that. What I'm very cautious of is the combo of GM and coach coming from the same tree. Yes, you have to have an understanding, a working understanding, a working relationship of what this GM is and what he's doing with, because that's who I'm going to work for. But that GM also has to understand the type of offense, the type of personality, the type of individual that works best or plays best underneath this coach. It's a monumental task. And to think that it's only going to take 6 weeks, or that you have to make this hire in 6 weeks for a position this important, for a rebuild that is with this depth, that's a fast hire.
Well, let's see. 6 weeks takes you to what? Mid-January.
January.
Conference championship week, basically. Well, that you have competition with other teams, so
And that's why it has to happen quickly, because you don't want to lose out on a good GM, but you, more importantly, don't want to lose out on the coach that you're after.
To me, the most important thing is finding somebody who's actually maybe not have been the GM, but who's actually, like you said, participated in something. And you mentioned Seattle, and what I love about the people in Seattle is, they went from one type of football. Look, Russell Wilson was the constant, but it was still, the Legion of Boom. It was a defensive-oriented team to now where they've shifted and become more of an offensive machine, where you can actually adapt to, certain things.
Tony, you nailed it for me, is that you got to be willing to take talent and make the talent work.
Yeah.
You can't stick in your stubborn, stupid ways. You have to have the ability to do what, long term, I don't think this is going to work, but what's going on in Baltimore? I mean, John Harbaugh, I don't think ever thought he would be running an offense like this.
No.
But he's doing it. Now, do I think it's going to pay Super Bowl dividends? No. But he's working with what he's been given. That's the key.
Well, and if you're going to hire that experienced GM, I would hope that GM, or as part of the hiring process, I talk about, hiring guys underneath them that could, in the future take over, so that you have a system that builds on itself. I do have a few names that I'll share next that I think would be great hires underneath the next GM.
Our telephone number, 248-539-9797. That's also the ticket text as well. 9712.
BetMGM, the first official sports betting partner of the Detroit Lions, is coming soon to Michigan. But you can sign up right now with a special early registration offer. Open a BetMGM account today, and you'll receive $100 in free sports bets and $100 in free casino bets. This is the best way to be ready for action the moment BetMGM begins accepting wagers, and there's no deposit required. Enjoy the same excitement you've come to expect at MGM Grand Detroit on an easy-to-use, state-of-the-art app. And find out why BetMGM is the king of sportsbooks with the best daily promotions. Plus, play your favorite casino games anytime from anywhere in Michigan. It's almost showtime at BetMGM. Get in on it early by signing up today and get $100 in free sports bets and $100 in free casino bets that you can use as soon as the fun starts at BetMGM. Must be 21 years or older. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-270-7117 for confidential help. Excludes Michigan and disassociated persons.
97.1 The Ticket. Traffic.
From the WWJ AM 950 Traffic Center, this report brought to you by Comcast Business. Roads looking this morning, I-75, 696, and 94. Drivers still near posted speeds along I-275 Lodge and Southfield freeways. When the unexpected comes calling, bounce forward with Comcast Business. Bounce forward fast with internet speeds of up to a gig. And bounce forward with the flexibility to update your bandwidth in just a few clicks. To learn more, go to ComcastBusiness.com. I'm Michelle Pena with traffic.
The Detroit Pistons play the Washington Wizards in a preseason contest. Pregame Thursday night at 6:35 on 97.1 The Ticket.
This Radio.com Sports Minute is brought to you by Hall Financial. Go to DavidHallMortgage.com.
This is Boomer Esiason with the Radio.com Sports Minute. When new Mets owner Steve Cohen laid down a 3 to 5 year timeline for winning a World Series, he appeared to scare away a number of potential general manager candidates, but not Jared Porter. The 40-year-old former assistant GM of the Diamondbacks is embracing the challenge head on. A product of the Theo Epstein coaching tree, if you will, Porter spoke yesterday about the importance of building quality depth throughout the 40-man roster, not just making splashy moves to bolster the top 25. Among the standout traits that those who know Porter have bandied about are well-liked, good listeners, smart, and really knows the game at many levels. Perhaps what impresses me the most is something baseball gadfly Bill James wrote. He's the opposite of an agent. All go and no show. He's the exact opposite of show business. So welcome to New York, Jared. 3 to 5 years, you're on the clock. Enjoy it. I'm Boomer Esiason.
Is the cost of finishing the basement worth the benefit of some peace and quiet?
When questions find you, Merrill Edge Self-Directed Investing can help you find answers with personalized planning tools and insights to help you get where you want to go, even if it's just downstairs. Merrill, a Bank of America company. Visit merrilledge.com/withinreach to get started today.
Investing involves risk. Merrill Lynch, Pierce, Veteran, Smith Incorporated. Registered broker-dealer, member SIPC. Investment products are not FDIC insured or not bank guaranteed and may lose value.
My stomach.
Don't worry, I've got you covered.
When you have nausea, heartburn, indigestion, upset stomach, diarrhea. What's that?
It's Pepto-Bismol chews.
Pepto-Bismol's in a chew?
Yeah, they taste great and provide fast relief. And you can always have Pepto-Bismol handy.
Ooh, let me try it.
Try Pepto-Bismol chews for fast relief.
Nausea, heartburn, indigestion, upset stomach, diarrhea.
Use as directed. Keep out of reach of children.
Does your family need reliable food support during these difficult times?
We do.
My family does too. You're not alone. We'll help take the stress off your plate. COVID-19 has caused many families to fall behind on finances and on groceries, and you shouldn't have to worry about putting food on the table. My Bridges offers access to quality food and income assistance to help families across the state get the food support they need. It's easy to apply and easy to start shopping.
It's one less thing to worry about. Now I know I can provide for my family.
With kids at home, I can even shop for food online at select retailers.
See if you qualify for food assistance to help support your family. Apply for services at michigan.gov/MIBridges. A message from the Michigan Department of Health and Human Services.
Have bad credit? Need a new ride? Taylor Chevrolet has an easy solution. Check out helpgetalone.com. With guaranteed acceptance of all credit applications, you can apply now for instant loan pre-approvals. Our experts are online and ready to assist you. Taylor Chevrolet is the dealership to go to if you've ever had a repossession, bankruptcy, or just poor credit and want a newer pre-owned car or truck. Securing loans for people with bad credit is Taylor's expertise, regardless of your credit score. Apply now at helpgetalone.com.
Hi, I'm David Hall from Hall Financial, and we're super excited that we just passed 2,000 five-star reviews from our clients. And we take a lot of pride knowing we've helped so many people purchase a new home or cut their payment by refinancing their mortgage. Go to davidhallmortgage.com.
When big things happen in Detroit sports, you hear it first on Detroit's #1 sports station, 97.1 The Ticket. Breaking news powered by Radio.com Sports and brought to you by Mercedes-Benz Vans. Find out how far an extra mile really goes. 97.1 The Ticket and CBS Sports Radio 1270. Your homes for the NFL on Westwood One. The Las Vegas Raiders host the Los Angeles Chargers. Thursday night football. Pre-game at 8 on CBS Sports Radio 1270.
Coming up at 7:02, talking about the Lions recipe for Rigo. We got some ticket text at 248-539-9797. 6 weeks about the search won't get you to the end of the playoffs, so it looks like the Lions are going to lose to hire an unemployed person. Well, it could take longer than 6 weeks. They just said basically at least 6 weeks is what they said. And that does get you to the middle of the playoffs, right? John Dorsey? You're really advocating for John Dorsey? That's just a classic Lions move. No thanks. Give me Ed Dodds all day. Yeah, Ed Dodds would be terrific. Oh, yeah. But then again, you have a guy who's never done it before. I don't think we were advocating for Dorsey. We just said who's unemployed right now that has experience. That's all we said.
Right, and those are guys that you must interview because their answers may direct you to, this is what I don't like about this individual. This is what I don't like about what they've done. But it shines a light on somebody else.
And by the way, speaking of Dorsey, you might not like him, and I'm not crazy about him either, but, there are some who would say that, drafting Baker Mayfield instead of Sam Darnold or Saquon Barkley could have been